The examiner slides a small card across the table. They start a stopwatch, and suddenly you have exactly 60 seconds to prepare a 2-minute monologue. For most test takers, the physical reaction is immediate. Your heart races, your mind goes blank, and when you finally start talking, you ramble, burning through all your material in 45 seconds and hitting a dead end. To get through those 2 minutes fluently, you need to rely on a structural mapping technique we call the cue card blueprint. Before we break down how this works, grab a blank piece of paper, a pen, and your smartphone's voice recorder so you can follow along. Mastering this prep phase shifts you from being a passive victim of a random prompt to an active storyteller in control of the exam's pacing. Step 1. Take your blank paper and draw a large cross in the middle, dividing the page into 4 quadrants. The most common mistake candidates make in their 60 seconds of prep time is trying to write out complete, grammatically correct sentences. Because time is so short, you will only manage to write down 1 or 2 thoughts. When it is your turn to speak, you end up reading those sentences like a robot, and you have absolutely nothing left to say. Instead, use the trigger words rule. Populate your notes strictly with single nouns, adjectives, and advanced transition phrases. When you look down at a single word like overworked, your brain is forced to spontaneously construct a sentence around it. This maintains natural eye contact and a conversational rhythm during your delivery. Now, mentally label those 4 quadrants on your paper: past, present, future, and opinion. This diagram shows the topic diamond strategy. Treating prompt bullets like a rigid checklist limits your answer, so map a chronological narrative instead. Describing your past and present experience fills a minute. Projecting into the future and adding personal feelings fills the remaining time effortlessly. Go deep, not wide. Expanding a single concrete example across these 4 time zones provides more substance than rapidly listing unrelated facts. Giving your answer a clear timeline turns a stressful memory test into a structured path through 2 minutes of speech. But what if you see a cue card topic you know nothing about? Say, a prompt asking you to describe an unusual activity. This is where you use a pivot strategy. You explicitly acknowledge to the examiner that you lack direct experience with the topic to buy yourself a few seconds of thinking time. Then you steer the prompt toward a domain you know well, like your job or a primary hobby. Use this script. Frankly, I don't do many unusual activities, but this reminds me of a time I did, and transition to a familiar story. Remember, the examiner is not giving you a lie detector test. IELTS grades your linguistic fluency and coherence. If you have to invent a detail to keep your narrative moving, do it. Once your content is secure, your delivery determines the higher band scores. High-level speakers use a technique called chunking, which means grouping words into meaningful phrases rather than rushing through sentences in a flat monotone. This visual breaks down a chunked sentence. Stressing every word makes you sound robotic. Placing deliberate, natural causes between ideas helps the examiner follow your logic without effort. Executing a confident pivot to a topic you know, combined with precise chunking, ensures a steady rhythm, keeping internal panic completely hidden. You now have the exact structural blueprint used by top-tier candidates to generate well-paced responses. Now it is time to put this into practice. Get the piece of blank paper and the phone you gathered earlier. Set a timer for exactly 60 seconds to map out your 4 topic diamond quadrants with trigger words. When the timer rings, hit record on your phone and speak for 2 uninterrupted minutes. Afterward, listen to your playback. Check to see if you successfully moved through the past, present, future, and opinion time zones, and listen closely for natural, chunked pauses. Repeating this pressure test daily builds muscle memory. Soon, the anxiety of the cue card disappears, leaving you ready to perform when the real timer starts. Here is your practice prompt. Your 60 seconds starts now.